Like press the raise your hand button or comment or something so I can know that you can hear everything I'm saying. Okay, that's solid. I got somebody paying attention now. I appreciate you, Desiree. Lisa, I appreciate you. I'm not gonna call out all the names, but thank you, thank you, thank you. I will give like 1 or 2 minutes for everyone to jump on, and then we'll just keep it pushing because I remember that this webinar can be watched afterwards using the link that was sent over your way. I'm gonna move this over because I feel like I'm like not looking at you, right? I don't want to feel like I'm talking to you. So give it a couple minutes. I see all these numbers jumping up, and we're gonna get going. I wish I had like background music or something, but I don't, and I don't want to mess this up by playing music too loud. So you're just gonna have to stare at me for a couple minutes. We'll give it to about 8:03. I see people jumping on now. I know that email went out, so but we want to respect everyone's time here. So it's 8:01. We're gonna wait till 8:02. And hello to the new visitors. I appreciate you guys for jumping on. So it's 8:02. We're here. We're going to get this going. I appreciate each and every one of you for signing on to the Build Your Brand Workshop. This is actually my first webinar, and I appreciate Mati Energy for helping me put this together. To be completely honest with you, the reason why I'm doing this is because I get asked a lot of questions when I go out in the streets, in my DMs and emails to help people, friends, family, people that I meet that are business owners, entrepreneurs, influencers. They want help with their social media. Some of you don't know what I do, but I'm going to share this with you really quick. And then we'll get over talking about myself and talk more about what you guys came here to learn. But I founded a creative agency named Story Marketing a few years back. And so what we do is we help brands and organizations communicate with audiences that are very diverse. So we do marketing plans, social media strategies for like the White House, UN Foundation, just different companies and organizations that are trying to reach people of color, different diverse backgrounds, physical abilities, ethics, religion, just the people that people aren't trying to reach and aren't talking to respectfully. But, you know, I get when people find that out, they ask me a lot about, well, how can I grow my social media platform? How can I become an influencer? How can I grow my business? And it's so hard to communicate with each and every person, even though I want to help everyone. That's what came up with the idea, where we jointly came up with the idea to come up with a webinar where I can just bring everybody in one space, give you all the goods, and you go ahead and jump out there and grow your brand and business. Because when I talk to people, it is very special when people start realizing that it's a lot easier than what they made it out to be. You have to be very structured because you're coming into this as a business. It's not a toy, but it's easier than what we make it seem. But there's so many we're hearing so many different things out there, and we're just posting content on our social platforms and hoping people like it, and then posting things in our stories talking about, well, nobody likes my stuff. Everybody's a hater. You go get Popeye's chicken, but you don't support my business. You know, I'm going to try to help you guys really learn how to hone that together and create strategies that work, and then give you guys some resources that you can use to push these strategies forward so that after this webinar is over, it's only going to be on you. Whether you get up and do it is going to be the catalyst to whether it works or not you not having the knowledge. So at the end, if there's anything I didn't cover, anything you want to know, if we still have time, just shoot me the question in the chat box and we're just going to keep it moving. All right, everyone? I know I can't hear anyone, so I'm just going to assume all you people that signed on are saying, okay, let's go. We want to hear it. So let's jump here. Let's start here. The first section that I want to go over when it comes to social media is, this is going to sound a little bit school-like, but it's about setting your goals. That is the most important part when it comes to creating a social media platform and, well, creating a social media strategy and gaining influence on the platform so that you can either sell, share awareness about something you're doing, whatever it is that you have going on that you have as your social media end goal. You have to set specific goals. And the reason I'm emphasizing specific goals is because a lot of people come to me and say, well, I just want to get more followers, or I want to gain more engagement, using these buzzwords that you hear. they don't really mean anything. Like, what do followers do? They don't do anything but like pictures. They don't do anything but, comment once in a while, right? But what are your actual goals? And this is not something that you should feel negative about not knowing, because I go into big organizations and they don't have goals. They just know that social media is a thing they need. Yeah, I talk to influencers. They know, hey, people create their own social media brands and they sell stuff. And so I want to do that too. But when I say set goals, your goals can change by the week, by the month, by the year. For instance, let's be a little more specific. Say, for instance, you created a nonprofit and your goal is to fundraise, right, for the next month. Then that means that your content should focus on why your organization needs money, what you guys are going to do with the money, how you guys are going to save the world and save the community using the funds that you incur, right? So the reason why goal setting is very important is it helps you create content, because a lot of you are sitting around thinking, I don't know what to post about. I'm just going to, and you guys are just posting random things about your business, no matter what type of company you are. But structured goals help you create content. So when you say, hey, you know what? I am a person who wants to be a chef, but I want to be the chef at this main event that's happening in February. Then you should probably start focusing your social media content on creating dishes that support that event and having people maybe at the event, so that in the comment section, hey, comment below and tell the people at the event that I want to be there as the main chef over there. Just something. I'm making stuff up off the top of my head, but you have to create goals that will support the content, because if you don't, you'll just be out there in the wind, not knowing what to do and what to post and when to post it and what to do. And sometimes you'll come up with something cool, and the other time you'll sit there and look at your phone and not have anything to put up, and then just put your phone down, and now you missed a day of content, right? And consistency is important. So setting your goals, I laid out 4 kind of strategies that can help you set goals, and they were laid out more in question form. And so first is, how will you create an impact? So good brand communication always has excellent impact on your audience and will make your audience feel more connected to the brand. Impact is very important, right? We always, and I'm going to say this a lot, we always think that the world cares about what we do or what we're doing. Nobody cares about what we're doing. That sounds weird, but there's so much content out there. There's so many places to go. There's so many social media accounts. There's so many businesses, so many brands, so many nonprofits. Nobody just wakes up and just cares. It's not we build it, we will come. Because I'm posting on social media, that means people has to support what I'm doing, because they have a lot of options. A lot of us we all have options. We wake up in the morning, grab our phone, scroll a little bit, laugh at jokes, support a brand, and then we go about our day. Everybody else is doing the same thing. So what are you doing that's impactful? What are you doing that's different? Even if you are, say, I will go back to the chef analogy. Say you are a chef. Every chef is different. Every chef has a different focus. Every chef has a different brand of what they do, a different restaurant, a different audience that they're trying to reach. So just because you have the service that somebody else has, doesn't mean that you can't come up with ways that you can impact the community that you're trying to serve in a different way. So that's really, really important, to sit down before you create your content strategy and think about, what am I doing that's impactful, and how can I make audiences connect with me? And maybe not myself, but me, if I'm an influencer, my brand, my company, my organization, what's impactful? That leads me right into number 2, which is, how will you become the authority, right? People go to platforms that they feel they get a lot of knowledge from, right? But you have to support that you are the authority on that knowledge by using your content to do so. If you repair credit, obviously your content should be around credit repair, but a lot of times people's content focuses on selling people on a service, right? Buy our credit repair service. We sell credit repair. We can help you grow your credit. We do this, we do that, as opposed to dropping knowledge. Dropping knowledge gets you the real engagement that you're looking for consistently. Hey guys, I know that a lot of millennials are dealing with student loan problems. This is what you can do to fix it, right? Hey, I know that our communities suffer from this problem. right? These are different ways that I'm doing, different things I'm doing to help support and help the community solve this problem. And here's how you can do so too, even though, and make it very specific to your audience. These are ways you can help the community while you still have a 9 to 5. You notice how I'm becoming an authority with content, but I'm also tailoring it in a way that I know my audience is sitting there asking the question. Like, man, I really want to help with that initiative, but I have a job and I have a lot of things to do. I have a family. Again, this content, what I'm saying can be structured in any different way, whether you're talking about a business, a nonprofit, a product that you're selling, but you have to become the authority on the issue that you're talking about, right? I'm going to show you guys a link of a social media company influencer per se. I used to pull this up in our in our offices a lot when people would tell me, "Hey, I want to start a business. I want to really grow on social media. I have this brand. I want you guys to support this brand. Show me how to do it." Let me go to this link. Some of you may have heard of this, maybe not, but this is Kitchen Cray, right? They're a really unique chef service in DC, in the DC area. So either whether I pull up Kitchen Cray or the chef, Mr. Chefito, James Robinson's Instagram account, and I'm just talking about Instagram here. This goes all for all platforms. I usually pull it up and I do this, right? I used to pull this up on the big TV and I would just scroll. Follow me here. I'm just scrolling. I'm just putting this up on the big TV and I'm showing people this. And I say, tell me what this guy does. And everybody says, he's a chef. Like, I can tell. Yeah, he posts pictures of events. You know, he posts pictures, especially on his personal account, of his family and friends sometime. But if you just scroll this really fast, you know this person is a chef, period. Or they love food. You know, one of the two, right? Now, the problem is what I would do next is pull up the individual social media account that says, hey, I'm a chef or a fitness guru, or I started a nonprofit, or I did, whatever they're doing. And I would scroll the account and say, if I didn't know you, what would I think that you do? And they usually could not answer that, because when they're looking at their account versus chef's account, they see that they're not supporting their content and they're not creating the position of authority that they think they are. I want to be very clear where I'm saying, I'm not saying that all you have to post about is the thing that you do, but how are you the authority of the people that know you? You can't speak. You're not friends with everybody. You have a couple friends in the world. Maybe you might have 100 friends. But when you're looking for that national impact, for that local national impact, you have to create the story that you want people to follow. It's up to you to create that narrative of what you're doing and how you can help me. Because all of us are somewhat selfish individuals. All we care about when we're on social media having fun, because we're on social media for fun, right? I'm talking about as a consumer. We're on there to learn, to figure out how, just have a good time. And then we sometimes scroll across good content that helps us out, that makes us inspired or gets us hungry or gets us wanting to support an initiative. But it's up to you to do that for me, not for me to chase you. So again, I want you to remember that a position of authority is very, very, very important when you're talking about growing your social media content. I'm going to switch back to the document here. It's a little cumbersome, but we're going to make it work. So again, becoming the position of authority, how will you become the authority in what you're doing? How will you, I hate this word, so I'm not going to say it on a webinar so you can't replay it and hear me mess it up, but you know exactly what I'm saying. How will you make yourself different, right? A brand connects with its audience. A brand that connects with the audience differentiates itself from the others, right? So again, that goes back to what I talked about when I talked about being impactful, being the authority. Yes, there are lots of people, lots of companies, lots of big companies that make billions of dollars, and lots of people that are just starting out that do exactly what you do. And you're like, man, how do I have a cleaning company, I have a tech company, and there's another company offering our service, but there's something you do that is different. For instance, there's 50 million marketing agencies. We are not different because we brand, create websites, do social media campaigns, videos, documentaries, all these things for brands and organizations. I can't sit here and lie to you and act like we're so different and I'm talking about we as in story marketing, because we do those things. But we're different in the way that we offer the service. We're different because we focus mainly on diversity and inclusion. We notice that there's value in helping brands reach people of color and diverse backgrounds, because brands and organizations usually don't make up the community that they're trying to support and serve and sell to. So you get a lot of incidents like the Gucci incident or the Pepsi incident from a couple years ago, where they had the Kendall Jenner doing the Pepsi thing for Black Lives Matter. It made no sense. But a lot of times there's not people of color in those situations creating the initiatives. So that's where we come in. This isn't a story marketing sales point. This is to say that there's something about you, the individual, and what you care about that makes your organization different, right? And when you're different, you can create loyalty. There will be people and followers and friends and family and people you've never met in your life, whether it's one person or 100, they will support your brand and support what you do. They'll share your content because it's impactful. Remember, all three of these things matter. You're the authority. You're different. I share that with my friends without being told. When I hear something that's really a great quote from a social media motivational speaker, and I know I have a friend that's going through something like that, I share it with them. That guy doesn't have to say, share this with your friends. I'm going to share with them because I know that's going to help them learn something. So again, be a teacher, be the authority, be different, create loyalty, and remember something that is very important as you are creating your brand and growing your organizations is that I am trying to go to the next slide. Nobody cares what you do. I can't stress that enough. I don't mean that to be negative. I'm not saying that to make it sound like that what you're doing does not matter. But a lot of us go into running social media campaigns and creating content. Again, I have to stress that we keep coming up with this idea and this ego idea that everybody's just going to follow what I do and they should be liking my pictures and following what I do and buying from me and supporting my organization and doing all these things when nobody cares. The reason they don't care is not because it's not important. It's because we are all human beings. We have a lot going on. Think about your day to day. You woke up, you probably got your phone, scrolled a little bit, put it down, hopped in the shower, went to work, scrolled a little bit more, talked to your coworkers or created your brand or did your work or went to class or whatever it was you're doing, came home, deal with your children, your family, your friends, different things, and then jumped on this webinar, which isn't usual, right? This webinar is an unusual part of your day. But you weren't out here searching for new things to buy. You weren't out here searching for new nonprofits to support or new influencers that you thought were cool. You weren't searching for those things. Those things found you, right? They created content that was really impressive. And maybe if you scrolled a hashtag or you were searching for some motivation or somebody sent it your way or said, hey, this is pretty cool. You decided, you know what? I'm going to follow this person. This actually is pretty cool. This is a really cool organization. And I like what they do. So it's your job on social media to reach the people. And there should never be a post again about everybody supports this brand, but not me. Everybody supports Popeyes, but not a small business. Who cares about that? Right? It's about what you're doing, because there's another brand that's your size or smaller who's getting support. So it has nothing to do with what you look like. It's no like, woe is me in terms of what we're doing. It's just about creating valuable content and being honest and authentic with what's valuable and what's not, right? If you've noticed that the content isn't having impactful reach on people and the things you're trying to push forward, then think of a different way to a different avenue to go. Think about things that's happening in our world right now. Think about if you're a health coach, maybe you should talk about the Popeyes chicken sandwich. I know I've mentioned Popeyes 8 times. I am not sponsored by them, but hey, maybe that's something you should talk about. Hey guys, if you're going to eat 10 chicken sandwiches, remember this. So that's valuable content, because people will say, oh, that's crazy. I just ate one of those. That was crazy. Let me share this with all the people. Let me put this in my story, because that's what we would do. So I know I'm just popping off with ideas that seem random, but I know that all the different people that signed on right now have different organizations and different brands. And I want you to start thinking about what content is different, what makes the people want to listen and support and hear more about what you're doing. So without further ado, let's move on to the next section. And again, if there's any questions, I can see a comment box. It's it might take me a couple seconds to get to it, but if you have any questions, just put it in the comment box and I'll try to respond if it's dealing with something that I'm talking about right now. And if it's something I can wait to the end, I'll just answer any questions at the end. And again, you guys will be able to have the chance to email me as well. So number 2, the part that everybody really wants to know is, how do I create valuable content, right? This is very important. If you have your notepads out or you're doing some writing or you're recording this or something, I want you to really, this is where I really want you to get the pen and paper out, right? Because content means nothing if you don't know who your audience is. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're pushing out the right context to the right content to the wrong audience, your content will go nowhere. You have to realize, for instance, we'll go back to story marketing. I know that our clients won't typically be individuals. They're brands or businesses that have a certain size, right? So we don't focus all our strategy on pushing social media. I know it sounds a little weird that we are a social media agency, but our clients are usually CEOs and executive directors of nonprofits. So we know we can tell stories on social media, but I really have to get out into the world, and my team has to get out into the world and meet and network with these people and do LinkedIn articles and different things that reach the audience that we're trying to support. Now, a lot of you guys' audience are millennials between 25 and 35, which, hey, now Instagram is a really great tool for you, right? But hey, what if your audience is 45 to 65? Instagram is not you talking about what you offer to those individuals on Instagram isn't going to really have much of an impact. Hey, you might want to be able to share the story. You do want to be able to share the story on Instagram and Twitter of what you're doing, but you also want to start focusing on offline tactics as well. Now, I know this is a social media course, but everything matters when you're talking about growing your business and growing your brand. So, hey, we're doing a project in San Francisco, and we know that local community reads a certain newspaper when they're a certain age bracket. So we also promote in that newspaper for that age bracket so they can gain awareness of what the initiative is. So again, define your audience. Take out a pen, a notebook and a pen and start writing down, who am I trying to reach and what do these people typically do? If I'm trying to reach young people, I know they're typically on Snapchat or TikTok, right? These are things you have to know. I know if I'm in politics or if I'm in journalism or news, I really have to create a Twitter presence. Instagram isn't really good for instant gratification. Twitter's that. Twitter's the town hall. Twitter's the place where you have a voice where you say, hey, I'm doing this. I just got this breaking news. I just found this out. I'm writing this report, and then I'm linking to my article. That's it. Instagram's more for visuals, which a lot of us here probably more want to focus on. But again, you don't know what you want to focus on if you don't know what your audience is. And then if you have multi-dimensional audiences, which a lot of us do, then you do have to create some type of strategy and content that fits each individual audience while telling the same message. To give you an example, a couple years ago, we did the My Brother's Keeper campaign for the White House. And we have multi-dimensional audiences. One audience were Black and brown teens of color, right? We had to reach out to them using social media and really cool videos. But then there were also what we call middle America, which were people who weren't really supportive of the mission, and they were an older generation in different races, but didn't understand. That's a different marketing campaign, which goes back to the same initiative. There's a different story, which all still ties back to the same initiative. And we weren't marketing there on Instagram and YouTube. That was more commercials and direct marketing and different things. I know that's high level, but we kind of segmented the campaign so that they can have maximum impact to the specific audience. So one ties into two, which is learn what your audience appreciates, and consistency will win, right? I'm going to share with you a couple more accounts so that you guys can see it. Again, a lot of these are Instagram focused because Instagram is very visual, but I just want you to see the level of consistency that a lot of the people who are doing what you all want to be doing have. And I want you to remember that these are regular people just like you and I. They don't have a big budget behind them. They're not, supported by any groups. They're people with their phones who created a strategy and execute on said strategy. So, this kind of tails back to what I was talking about in terms of knowing what people do. And I know these are very linear job offerings like, chef, fitness. But again, at least you can get a feel for what someone's offering. This person, Massey Arias, works in fitness, right? She's a well-known individual who supports not only just fitness, but health, awareness, positivity, and different things like that. So just scrolling her account, you can see, I know fitness is a very visual aspect, but you can see where how she's consistent about what she's doing, her look, her feel, her images, the captions she's making. She's bilingual. So all her captions are in 2 languages, which supports diversity. That's something I don't know, I might have clicked that really fast, but these are little things to notice. And it's consistent, it's authentic to who she is, and it supports a story and a narrative that she's trying to push. Sometimes she's trying to sell a fitness campaign or something she wants you to join. That'll be the campaign. You'll see images about that for a little while, right? But again, the audience appreciates her learning how to work out. So she posts more of those. This is how you do this. That's valuable content. She's not saying, pay me to learn how to do this workout move. She's just saying, hey, community, I'm providing this for you. I want you to learn how to do this because I care about your health. So the more you do stuff like that, the more when it's time to sell somebody something or have somebody support you, they will do so because you're providing them valuable content, which seems like it's for free. Gary Vee does that a lot. And I think I'll pull him up a little bit later, but you're providing valuable content, you're telling a story, and you're doing it consistently. So when it's time for you to ask for their support, hey, I want your support now because I've supported you so long, people would love to do it. My next, under creating valuable content, I have designing an experience, right? Designing an experience is extremely important, and I'll try to get to, here's a little bit. Let's jump back a little bit because I wanted to make sure I cover different bases because, say, real estate's a little bit different from something that's highly visual, right? So here's Rashana Scott. She has an easy way to run numbers on rehabs, different things about what's going on in Illinois in terms of wholesaling and Instagram lives regarding wholesaling in Illinois. As you've seen, she's not only consistent, but she's creating content that helps people. When I watch this video and I'm learning, I'm telling you, man, I've been trying to run numbers on rehabs, and now she's giving me an easy way. Again, it's not pay me for this class that I'm going to teach you, or come buy this house from me. Come buy this house from me. I'm a real estate agent. Come buy this house. She's providing content that helps support other agents out here who are trying to get on the status and level that she's on. So it's not just about, hey, I sold a house. Hey, I want you to come in my class and invest with me and different things like that. It's creating content that supports the individual. Now, creating an experience, I'm going to go to my account, right? Now, I want you to really focus on not the fact that it's my account, but consistency. When we're using social media to grow our brands and learn and support and create companies and businesses, we have to create an entire experience for people to be able to support us. Instagram isn't enough. Twitter isn't enough. It has to be consistent across the board. So you're actually creating a world where individuals can follow along and start, I want to say, supporting what you're doing without even feeling like you're pushing them through a tunnel, right? So for instance, I'll say our tunnel here, this is my Instagram account. It's consistent, has my logo, has my bio, et cetera, right? My Twitter account is the exact same look and feel and flow, logo, bio, name, different links to the companies I work with. links to my website. Now, obviously, my Instagram account doesn't have the link to my website because I was promoting this event, but tomorrow that'll change. Now, when you go to my website, it's just a one pager. It's a landing page, right? But it's still logo, what I do, and subscribe below for Monday motivations. Now, this is important. Remember, we're talking about social media, but we're talking about social media for a purpose. You're not just on social media on this webinar to play around and like people's pictures and look at cool food and get off. You're trying to create a world, a business, a nonprofit, an organization. You're trying to get support. So social media is just half the battle, right? Social media is just raising awareness. How do you capture information? So you create a funnel, right? If you can't create a big website, you have a landing page. This is just a one pager that you can get done for maybe $50. That I have a MailChimp, and I'll have links after this that you can sign up for all these things that none of this goes to me. They're just companies that are either free or very cheap that has a link to people can put their email addresses in here. And then after they put their email address in, they get Monday motivationals. I send out Monday motivations every Monday morning for just to give people some inspiration and motivation for their daily life, for their weeks, right? But you see that I've created a funnel. You go to my social media, you like my content, you think this is pretty good. You say, hey, what does this guy do one day? You click that, you're taken here. Now you're in my funnel. I send you emails. And if I were, say, selling a book one day, or I was doing an event, who do you think I'd be emailing? I wouldn't be going to my social media account and clicking every person who commented on my page. Hey, can you come to my event? I have to create a world where it's a matrix system that's kind of almost operating on its own. I hope that's making sense to you guys. So it's not just focusing about the social media content and what you're putting up and how consistent you are, but it's also being sure that before you launch these ideas, you've created a way to capture people's information so you can grow what you're doing. And you don't have to have your full-fledged, big, giant 10-page website to do so. You see, I just showed you myself. I have a landing page that got put up in a day because I'm making sure I'm capturing information. So when people want to see about more what I'm about, they're in that funnel. So now I can do almost what I want. If I want to have an event in a year, I have 5,000 people on that email list that I can send something to, and they can come to my event, right? And so if you're selling real estate, or you're creating programming, or you have a nonprofit, you have to create that funnel where you want people to really easily get to. So I'm really a fan of landing pages that have this type of structure, even if you have a website, when they're linking from your social media platform, because they're easy for people to go to and just sign up for more information. And then you can send them information as you see fit. It's really important because these social media platforms don't last forever. They're not, and we don't own them. You own your website. You own your mailing list. So Instagram might not be cool in 2 years. You might have done all this content, all these cool things, but if you don't have people's information, then you're just posting on social media and you're hoping that Instagram stays cool. You have no control in that. So again, learning who designing an experience. What will I experience when I am on your social platform is very, very important. And lastly, on that mix of designing your experience, the last point I want to go over is creating campaigns, right? So creating social media campaigns, once you pull all this together and you now have, I know who my audience is, I know what makes me different, I know what content I want to post, I know all these different avenues that support my brand. Now I have a brand, I have a package. How do I push that package out into the world? The best way to do it, and what we do with big organizations, big companies, right, that you can do and should do yourself. Remember, I'm giving you the tools that big companies sit in rooms and create, but you can do them because companies are made up of people, just like you and I. There's people that are my age sitting behind these companies. It's not some giant robot that's Nike.com or something like that. There's individuals creating these campaigns, so you can do it too. It's very, I'm not going to say easy, but it's simple once you know what you're doing. It just takes your effort. Campaigns, I think I said something about this in part one. Campaigns support the initiative that you're trying to put out for that time period, right? For example, there was a campaign that I did about a year or two ago that was for myself, It was the I Am a Brand campaign, but it was people hashtagging and telling their stories about what made them feel like they were a brand. And then I was supporting my company, the Love Art brand, which is a t-shirt line that supports creatives. And a lot of the shirts that people like the most say, I am a brand. So the I Am a Brand campaign gave t-shirts to people who we posted about that hashtag told their story and then hashtagged I am a brand. And then we put our t-shirts in their hand. They wore the t-shirts, and then that would grow audiences to people that we didn't know that were that individual's audience, but say, hey, that's a cool shirt. I'm going to go buy that, right? That's a campaign. It was the I Am a Brand campaign. And campaigns have a start and a finish date. Remember, campaigns have a start and a finish date. Whether you say this is a month long, this is a 2-week campaign, this is a 2-month campaign. I wouldn't really go above a month. But the reason I'm saying I keep pushing the narrative that campaigns have a start and a finish date is because you have to see what works. That's how you create more campaigns and create value in what you're doing on social media. When you create the I Am a Brand campaign, you can see, hey, when you look into the analytics of social media, hey, our numbers, we usually average 50 likes a post and 1,000 page views. But during the campaign, we did 150 likes a post and 2,000 page views. You can see that easily on any of your social media platforms when you click on analytics. But when you start looking at that, you'll see that, hey, that campaign worked. People liked it. Oh, we had 70 clicks to our link in our bio, or 1,000 clicks to the link in our bio. This campaign works. But when we do another campaign, you say, you know what? We average 100 clicks to the link in our bio. And when we ran the campaign, we only got 101. So that's not really any movement. This campaign, whatever we're pushing or selling or the story we're telling, it's not really hitting. It's not really connecting with the people. I have to nuance that out a little bit and switch it up and create something that connects. It's not an ego thing. If it doesn't connect, it doesn't connect. It's okay. There's something else you can do. And again, for our service-based people that are more, maybe have a service-based organization, the campaign could be more around, hey, I sell this or I sell this service. I'm doing an intro campaign where you can have this service for 50% off because you're a new customer. And all you have to do is repost this, and then you will incur your 50% discount, something like that. I'm not saying there always has to be a discount, but when you're a service, whether you're like a web designer or a cleaning company or you have a landscaping service, your service-based company has to be more supportive of this campaign gives you something for giving me something. And when you're more of a longer-term organization like a real estate firm or a nonprofit, I think your campaign can be more around knowledge. Like real estate, you can say, hey, this is the again, I'm just going to go off the top of my head, know your student loans month. We're going to teach you every single thing that has to be about student loans and tag somebody that has, that's in student loan debt, or tell them about it because you might want to tag them and tell them to hashtag this. And we're going to answer their question directly for this entire week. This is the Student Loan Awareness Week that we've created. You don't have to wait for Twitter or the world to create these weeks for you. I hear sometimes it's sibling week or something like that. Hey, make your own week. This is know your rights week, right? I'm a social activist and I want people to know their rights. So again, kind of stole that from Colin Kaepernick, but there is value in creating campaigns because you learn what people want. You're able to push your story out even further, and people will also, the audience that you're trying to reach will engage with you and do certain things so you can support them. And then they'll go through, as you can, I think all of you guys, everybody that's signed on, there's a lot of people signed on right now. You guys are very smart. So I think you all can see, wow, if I create a campaign with the audience that I now know likes the content I push out and I have an experience for them, they go to my link and then they click the link in my bio and they sign up for my email list, and now I can send them emails about what I have going on. You can see how social media becomes a tool that's extremely valuable, but it makes sense when you're posting and using it. If there's no questions on that, I'm going to keep pushing to real influencers, right? We hear a lot about social media influencers. There's some people on here that probably consider themselves social media influencers. I have no problem with that, right? But we hear a lot about how brands use influencers to support what they're doing. For instance, we all see Fashion Nova everywhere. boxing matches, Instagram models, fashion over fashion motor. They have a large budget and they give it to people to wear their stuff. That's pretty cool. But you're a small business. You're a nonprofit. You're not giving away thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars or $10 worth of product, or you're not giving away free services. You're not doing that. That's not what I want you to do. You're a small business. You need your money in your pocket to be able to grow, right? So how do you create influencers in your world? Micro over major is number one by far. We're so caught up in this person has 50,000 followers, 150,000, 1 million, X amount. Let me tell you something about what brands are doing and organizations are doing. People with 1 million followers and 150, 200,000, stuff like that aren't really that important to brands and organizations anymore. I'm just giving you the truth. Because when you start going into the high numbers, people are usually following you for so many different reasons. A brand can't segment who they want their audience, because they have a lot of money invested in this stuff. They need to know who your audience is so they can give you product that your audience wants to buy. But when you're in the millions and these high numbers, some people are following Kim Kardashian because she looks good. Some people are following her because they don't like her. Some people follow her because they like her outfit. Some people follow her because of Kanye West. There's no segment of really strong reasons why people are following Kim Kardashian. But a chef that has 5,000 followers, everybody's following that guy because they like his food, period. So if you have a sauce or a new thing that you're putting out that relates around food, you should give it to that chef, because those people are going to care about what that person is doing. And that chef is going to have a lot of demands. His demand is probably just going to be, let me get your product. Let me try it out and put it on some of my dishes. You see what I mean? Micro influencers can be utilized in any service. When you have a nonprofit, if you have a nonprofit that focuses around, say, mental health, there's people out here who have seen themselves through mental health issues, and they're not afraid to talk about it. That's your influencer right there. I don't care if that person has 1,000 followers. There's 1,000 people that's not supporting your organization right now. So you can go to that person and say, hey, here's a t-shirt that's hashtag whatever your brand is, or here's something that we're doing to support, and I would love if you bring people to that community. There's a lot of people out here with the 500, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 6,000 that are in a world, in a genre, in a community that you're trying to reach. And those are the people that you should be reaching out to, saying, here's something. I'm here. I'm either giving you this, or I'm supporting this community with you, or I can provide value. And can you help me win this fight? Because it matters to something that matters to you. Excuse me. And that right there is how your brand can build a team of influencers. Now, what we do, I'm always going to give you the tips of a major organization and see, what you think. And you can take it as far as how you want. But what we do is we create Excel spreadsheets that have influencer in this city, influencer in this market, influencer here, influencer here. Now, you can take it as far as you want. It just depends on how hard you want to work and what you want to do. But again, if you say are a cleaning company, you might want to find different real estate companies or people who set up different spaces and have your space clean their space, have your company clean their space, and then you can that's your influencer. They'll post about, hey, this company came through and did a good job. They're really great, right? That's your influencer. So again, I would create and focus on micro influencers, and I would start with my community. Starting with the community means start with the people you know, right? A lot of us, again, us as individuals, we create brands, we create products, we create these services, and we start with kind of thinking super high level about who can support us and these people we've never met before. When we have individuals that we know or semi-know, or that associates that care about what we do, right? Start with them. One of the best lessons I ever learned was from a guy who started a company that's similar to mine, that's a lot bigger, but he was giving me some insight into how he started his company. The first thing he did years ago, and it's a major, major company now in the agency world, he created an email that he sent to all his family and friends and said, I'm leaving my job and starting a company that does this. If anybody knows someone who can support, or if you know anybody who needs this service, let me know. That's an influencer. That's social. Again, I'm not here just to talk about Instagram and Facebook. This world has to live on, and you have to create your community in order for your social media to work, right? So those people have their own platforms, Twitter, Facebook, this and that. They might post it on their Facebook account. They might share, hey, my friend just started a credit repair company. They're selling a home, or they have a nonprofit. Well, a lot of times we jump over the people we know and try to think about the grander scheme, because we're all big dreamers and big thinkers. That's the reason all you are on this podcast, on this webinar. But think about your community, the local influence you have, and garner their support first. Grow it like you're a musician. Remember, a musician, their friends say they can sing, their family says they can sing. Then they go to town, open mic, and those people say they can sing. They grow like this, right? Consider your brand, your organization in the same world. And I went back to providing value, because don't give me a shirt that says the same thing that everybody else's shirt says. That's not valuable. That's just an ego thing. I'm not here to knock anybody's brand or business, but give me something. I'm not saying don't do t-shirts, right? But give me something that is valuable, or give me something that says, hey, this shirt says hashtag we care about mental health, but X amount of the proceeds go to this organization that supports mental health so they can continue to fight the fight, right? Or different things like that is valuable to the influencer who is going to support your brand. It doesn't have to just provide value to them, but it provides value to who they care about and what they care about. And know your audience. Like, if your audience is a little bit older, and I know I keep using the real estate analogy, but it garners a lot of different audiences. If you know your audience is a little bit older, you know they might not care about student loans. That might not be something that really affected them majorly. The thing they want to more so know about is refinancing their home, or helping a parent out that can't support themselves anymore, and they have a property, or selling their first property and moving into a second. Just different things like that. Think about. So again, I said your audience is also your influencers, but you also have to know your audience and what they need and what they support and what they care about, and you have to keep pinging on what they care about, which goes all the way back to being consistent and being authentic. Because if you don't care about that thing, then you're not going to want to do it, right? If I didn't care about diversity and inclusion, it doesn't matter. I couldn't sell it all the time, because it's something I don't want to do. It's something I don't want to talk about all the time. If it's something that I didn't really care about, just because I see that there's a need for it, that doesn't mean that I'm going to do it if it's something that's not really in my blood. But that's not my nature. So I have a team of people who love to listen to those audiences and support those initiatives and create content around that. So lastly, on the talking standpoint, pay to play. Pay to play. I know you don't want to hear it, but I always go with this little story that when I was young, I used to wonder why the people I watched on TV, and my mother used to watch a lot of soap operas, why they were millionaires, but I didn't pay to watch TV. I used to be like, we bought the TV, but this TV show is free. Martin is free. Living Single was free. I don't understand how they make so much money. It wasn't until I got a little bit older that I realized, they give us the TV shows for free, right? But the brands, Coca-Cola knows that 50 million people are watching Martin at 8 o'clock. So they're going to give the TV show Martin money so that they can put Coca-Cola as a commercial during their show. And if you don't have enough people watching you, then they're going to cut you off the air. That's what it is. They're paying to play in the background while we're getting it for free. Social media is the exact same thing. A lot of you don't know. You say, man, I have 2,000 followers. 20 people like this image I posted, and nobody cares about what I do. But then you hear Facebook is a multi-billion-dollar company, and Instagram is worth $15 billion. Like, I didn't pay any money to use Instagram. But Instagram and Facebook and Google and all these things live from advertisers. So, of course, they're going to create algorithms to block your content for most people. They don't want your content going out to all your followers. You're not going to see all that, because that would mess them up. Then you wouldn't need them, right? So most people don't have a business or a brand. So a lot of us are the TV watchers. We're watching the show and just enjoying it. But the people that's on this webinar, we are nonprofits, businesses, brands, different things that we're supporting. So we have to understand that, hey, I have to start creating a world of promotions that gets that now that I've given them $1, Now they're going to put my account a little bit above the other account so I can support my initiative. The only people that don't have to worry about advertising are people that are already extremely famous for things that don't really have to do with the social media platform. For instance, we look at a Cardi B. People wake up in the morning and say, hey, you know what? I want to see what Cardi B's doing. 99% of brands and organizations don't have that luxury, right? People wake up and say, I wonder what Beyonce posted today. But for the rest of brands and organizations, everyone big and small, you have to do something to, I want to say, share the initiative outside your circle, because the social media accounts aren't going to do it for you and they're blocking you from doing so. So you see how I said promotions are cool, but Facebook wins. A lot of you know that on your Instagram account, when you post something, they have a little button that says promote or something like that. That's cool. That gives you a little, you can put a couple of dollars up and promote what's going on in what you're doing. And it does well, right? It's sponsor ads. But what I mean by Facebook wins, and I pressed the wrong button here. I want you guys to, each and every person on here, and I have the links, so you're going to get them after this. This is facebook.com/business/ads. When you start here, this is where you can create ads that are the ones that you see when you're posting on social media. You ever been in your story and you're scrolling, you see a cool Instagram story or Facebook story that's an ad for something that may be relevant to you, and then sometime you're scrolling on your account and sometime you're on Facebook, you see the ad. When you do it from Facebook Business, remember, Facebook purchased Instagram. So they control almost all the ad revenue. If I'm not mistaken, Snapchat as well, but we're talking more about the ones that kind of reach a larger audience for what most of us are doing right now. You have to create a Facebook Business ad account, and now you can create tailored stories and Instagram ads and Facebook ads and tailor them for each platform, which is a lot of it more efficient. I'm searching around here because I'm about to show you a small example of an image that you've seen before. But when we ran our Facebook and Instagram ads, and these aren't extremely different just for this webinar, right? We ran ads that look like this, if it'll come up. So those were our Instagram ads. Those were actually our Instagram ads, right? They're the Instagram fit. They look a certain way. They're the size, the 1,000 by 1,000. But for Facebook, you're not allowed to have all this text on your ads or they'll block it. So none of this was here. None of this was here. It was just build your brand, a picture of myself, a live digital webinar, and the time. And then in the caption, they had the rest of their information. And for the Instagram and Facebook stories, our ads look like this. So obviously we tailored them for each platform, but it matters. Like you have a brand, you have a business that has to look and feel authentic, and it has to feel as grand as the others. So we used facebook.com/ads. I might be saying the URL a little wrong, but I'm going to send you guys these links. We used that. You logged on and created an account, which is a free account. And then we created ads and promotions that were tailored to each platform and the audience. And also when you go into these ad, but when you go into the backgrounds of the Facebook ad business, the business center, what it's called, you actually can really tailor it really strong to where you want to promote, how much you want to spend, where do you need it to go. So for instance, if I was doing this as an in-person event, I would only want my ad. The fact that I'm in DC right now, I'm going to run the ad for DC, Maryland, Virginia, maybe Baltimore. Because why would I have the ad running in California for people that's not going to fly out here for a social media class for 1 hour, right? That's really tailored. And it's going to only run for those people in those cities on all the social media platforms under the certain age bracket, certain demographic, certain likes, certain races, different things that I want to pull together. But now it's going to make my ads really impactful for the people that really need them, right? And so the reason I have on number 2, small budgets, clean designs, because you don't need $1 million. Yeah, there's companies that spend a lot of money on ads, but we're talking small business, we're talking nonprofits, we're talking organizations, we're talking people who want to be influencers. You can take $25, $50. and create ads for your local economy and then see how they go. You can monitor and learn, right? You can monitor those ads. You should really, when you start running ads, you should really start digging into the background of what are these ads doing? How many clicks are they getting? They have A/B testing. I'm not going to go all the way into the background of ads per se, because I think that's a webinar in itself. And if you guys want one, I can definitely do it. But it's a whole world in itself in terms of learning the nuances of running really good ads and creating A/B tests where they have one ad that looks one way. I showed you an ad with me wearing an I Am a Brand shirt, and maybe there would have been another one with the same picture. I mean, with the same information, but I have on a suit. And then in a week, we can say, oh, the one with the suit had 50 clicks to your webinar, but the one with the t-shirt had 10. So we're going to like delete the one with the t-shirt and push the one with the suit on. So you start to learn how to create a story and an advertising on social media, which helps your money go really far. And when I say $50, say you sell a product or a service that's $200, you get one person that clicks your ad and buys what you do. You already paid for your ad for the whole month. You get 10 people, and now you're way in the profit margin. So again, you don't need $1,000. I mean, as you grow and you get bigger and bigger, your ad budget is going to grow, obviously. But right now, monitoring and learning will make your $25, your $10, your $5. You can put something up because it's something you bought this week that you don't need. You can put it up for your ad. And when I say create your matrix, it goes back to what I talked about in the beginning, where I showed you, remember, before you start running your ads, I want you to have your matrix ready. I want you to have, I thought I was screen sharing that right now. Before you run your ads, before you do anything, I want you to focus on creating your matrix. I have my link. I have my stories. I have my bio the right way. I have when people click my link, it takes you to my outside platform that's outside of social media. I have my structure where people can put their content, their information in so I can remarket to them. And now I have a world that I'm building out that is supported by social media, but not just on social media. So I really want to thank you guys for seeing this whole thing through. A lot of you, if not all of you, a lot of you stayed on. And actually more people that's on now than what started. But, what I'm going to send you guys afterwards via email, I have it sent out from the story team, or there's different things I've talked about, like growing your audience, having them on a mail list. We use MailChimp, right? You don't have to, but this is a really easy platform. So you use MailChimp to go in and support the email blast. A lot of you know that, but hey, some of you don't. For creating social media content, we use Buffer, right? Buffer.com. This way, so you're not sitting there staring at the screen and saying, I don't know how the heck I'm going to create 1 million social media things like every day. Like I'm so busy. This sounds so hard. What you can do with this is you go on and you create your content. Remember, now that you know who your audience is and the stories you're going to tell, and you created a social media calendar and some different little concepts, you already know what you can post for the whole month. And if you can get it done for a week or 2 weeks or a whole month, whatever way you can go about getting it done, you can schedule it all in Buffer, forget about it, and it'll just go up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So now you create all your content, push it out, run your ads, maybe take 3 days to do all this cool stuff. And the rest of the time, you can go out into the world and do what you have to do. You don't have to worry about your social media. It's almost running on its own. I'm going to pull up one account that I didn't really think about. Let's see if I can pull it up fairly quickly, not to waste your time. But I wanted to show you guys something about social media content and what ads can do for you. Let's see how fast I can be. This young lady is doing a really good job, and I think she really has a good message on here. I do not know her at all, but it slipped my mind, but I definitely want to show you really quick. So Danielle Leslie, she sells online courses. I don't know this person, but I know she does a really good job. I hear a lot of good things about what she's doing on social media. I think she's a really strong person to follow because she has really good content and does her stuff the right way and runs a lot of ads. So you see her a lot. Some people, I feel like I know her. I don't even know her, but a lot of times what she'll do is run ads based on, I'm going to click this because I've seen this before. She'll create a story and run an ad on it for a month. But look at this. Look, I want you to focus on this. Don't focus on the picture. Focus on ads is over everything. From October to December, my online course did over 80K in sales from Instagram. I'm holding a class on this. So click the above to go to danielleslie.com to attend, right? And then she tells you about the class in here, what she's offering, what you can do, how much money she made and how much she's helped other people make. She tells all of this story in the Instagram caption and ran this 82 weeks ago, but it's still running. I still see this. A lot of you still see it. It just runs on its own and it gets people to click the link in her website, which I'm going to do it now. And it takes you to what? A place where you can register for a course that she's doing. How I turn my passion and expertise into an online course. Do I want to attend? Yes, it looks like it's tomorrow. Attend her course. Tell her I sent you. I don't know her. But you see how you'll learn how to use my online course to make how I made $25,000 in 1 month. Yes, I want to attend. You see how she's created a world. She has ads running. It's created a matrix where people can go back and support what she's doing and learn. And remember, she's adding value. She's doing everything I talked about. Like she's adding value where, shoot, I want to make money too running stuff from Instagram. I'm going to learn how to create courses, right? And she said I post 1 or 2 times a month. Now she can do that because she is running ads at a high clip for the posts that she's making. So it seems like to the world that she's posting a lot because she knows she has a unique service. There's probably not a ton of content you can post about running a course, but what you can do is make some really strong posts, run a good amount of ads on those supporting your course, and now you have the world coming back to what you're doing because she's smart enough to know people aren't just going to be checking her Instagram account all day to see content about courses, right? So she's a really smart person who I think you guys should follow because even if you're not going to attend these classes, these workshops and different things like that, learn from the people that's doing it, right? That's doing it smart. Watch what they're doing and learn how to kind of use those same tactics that you can use. The last couple of things I'll show you just really quick. We have Monday.com. I don't have the link there, but Monday.com helps you schedule out. If you have a team, some of you on here I know have worked with organizations that have a bigger team than one of you. I know for a fact I've seen some names already that work with about 10 people or so. Monday.com is really good for us to schedule and structure our social media in terms of not scheduling like buffer, but it's actually project management. So we can task and say, hey, John, create this content. Hey, Susie, post the content. Hey, Larry, do the caps, whatever. It's project management. And as you're growing, you need a tool that is not email that you can use to project manage. And the reason I'm being very comprehensive with this is because, remember, at the end of this webinar, social media for all of us is a tool that we're using to grow our businesses and our brands. It's not just a toy. The last thing I'm going to show you here, which I found a while ago, which a lot of you might probably want the link to this, is this some weird site, but it's the Instagram caption maker. You know how you're putting posts on Instagram, you have to put those little dots and they make your like Instagram posts weird and it never spaces it out the right way. When you put your post in here, you put your whole caption in here and you click it. You can do this from your phone or computer. You click convert copy to clipboard and then you post it on Instagram. It makes your post regular and it makes it clean and you don't have to put blocks and dots in it. I think that's crazy because Instagram is so tough to make captions. So for instance, when you even see the one that I have here, you see it looks like a regular paragraph. I didn't have to put dots in it and spaces and all this weird stuff. So hey, that might not help you, but it helped me. And I know a lot of us have that problem because it's hard to create captions that look clean like this. So as I turn this screen share off, and I'm not going to show you the last page of this document. Well, I am because I should, because these are the people that help bring this webinar to you. So it's only fair and right. This is just contact our storytellers. You can get this information. I'll be sharing this right here with all of you guys via email post webinar, so you can have it. Our sponsors, Monty Energy. I'm in a different city right now, so I don't have any on me, but they do a really good job. They support what I support. They supported this whole initiative. They're the reason why you guys could just jump on the webinar. And also, you know, I'm a very healthy person, I think. And so I don't like to drink stuff with a lot of crap in it, sugar, all that stuff. So when I met the team from Mati and I had their energy drink and it was all natural, it was like sparkling water. Man, I was like, yo, this is dope. So the fact that they're even supporting everything we have going on, it's only right that I say, hey, this right here is a brand that I actually stand behind. And they stand behind you because they supported this whole initiative. So let me know if you have any questions, ideas, things I didn't cover, or if you just want to say good night, adios, and save this and share it with whoever you want to share it with. Because again, that's nothing that I'm selling you here. I'll be emailing you guys a little bit later, but every once in a while I see something that I feel I get asked about something a lot, and there's ways I know I can help. Just like last time with the government shutdown and helping entrepreneurs that worked in the government learn how to start their businesses while the government was shut down. Every once in a while, guys, I'm just going to jump on and do things that I feel the community needs help with, because that's how we all should be, right? If you all have expertise just like I do in your own initiatives, I'm not saying give away what you're doing for free, but I've always felt like there's different ways you can help the community. So any questions, concerns, ideas, let me know. And appreciate all of you, to be completely honest with you, for sticking here with me. I'm going to wait to see if there's any questions. I'm my own moderator, so I have to look at this and see if you guys, you know what? I actually might be. So I do see one. It says, do you use your landing page for social media link? Or do you have a web page with full content? So I would say that the landing page is the starter. We're still building out our website, but there should never be a reason that, hey, because I don't have this thing built out, we're not going to have anything here. The landing page is almost a placeholder, right? And so when we have our full website, it's still going to, now on the Christian Benjamin website, there's still going to be at a high level, sign up for these Monday motivations here. It'll just serve the purpose of talking about my speaking engagements and different things I do. So no, I think that I think you can play around with the idea based on what you do. So with me, I'm an individual, I'm a speaker. Story marketing is his own thing, but it's going to be my full website with my videos, my content, the courses I do, the Monday motivation book. But for instance, if you're a real estate company, you might just want it to go straight to that website. But then if you, say for instance, have some type of business, like maybe this young lady, Danielle Leslie, that I showed you, and she does courses, you probably want it to go straight to the course you're trying to sell for the moment. So really play around with that, but you want to make sure that when people click it, they're doing, remember, number one was objectives. They're performing the objective that you started out your social media campaign with. So thank you, guys. I really appreciate you. Not going to hold you too long. There should be something at the end. If there's not, that says that if there's any questions, they'll shoot them right to me, and they'll be answered tomorrow. But thank you for everyone jumping on. I really appreciate you. This link you'll be able to view this link afterwards. Everything should go out to you guys by the morning. Have an amazing night. I appreciate all of you for staying on and jumping on with me. And adios.